Hoorah. It is I, Lamont Prince. You know me. I'm a Rob Hollywood. This little vlog is based on the science of the many selves or your other selves. It's going to be kind of brief and basic, but I need y'all to understand this. There's a lot of movies coming out now that are reflecting this precept. You understand that there are, just like there are many people on the planet Earth, many animals, many plants, and different things, many atoms, there are many of everything. There are many galaxies, many solar systems, many universes. That's what they call the multiverse. But in these many universes, there are also dimensions. A dimension in the universe is not necessarily the same thing. There is a version of you that exists within each dimension. For there are many dimensions within each universe. Now, when I say many, I don't mean 8 and 9. I mean nearly countless. And in these many countless dimensions, there is a version of you in every dimension. What I've been trying to get across to you people is that there are many dimensions. We call them realities or unrealities, actually. There are many unrealities that are versions of you. So basically, it's like you see me making this video right now. This is in this dimension. There is a version of me right now making the same video in another dimension. There are actually abundance of me's in other universes making the same video right now. Many. And there are just as many more that are not making this video. There are many versions of me doing many other things similar. But this is one of the reasons why I explain to you sometime you can die and don't know you died. This is a science that I told people about a long time ago. You can actually physically so-called die and don't know that you died. And you'll think that you're still in the same reality because your consciousness will shift from this unreality to the next, where you were doing exactly the same thing that you were doing just before you died. For instance, if you, let's say, had a heart attack and you fell out and you grabbed your chest, you were in the kitchen with your wife and child. If you're a male, female, same thing, with your husband and child, and you died. In the other reality, you died, but you took a little longer. And then the other one a little longer, and the other one a little longer. And until eventually there's a reality where you didn't die. And when you hit that reality, you'll go to the hospital or whatever, and you'll pull through. And you'll be like, oh, I almost didn't make it. You didn't make it in that unreality, in many other unrealities, related unrealities, but in one you did. So you, and because like I told you before, there's no such thing as really time. Time is a concept, you know, individualized space continuum that allows us to experience this illusionary dream that we are trapped in the minds of God, or that we are participating in, that's in the mind of the creator, or the all, which you call God. there's a concept called time. So with this concept called time, if I physically die now and my energy returns to source pool or to the inevitability of it all, it can be gone in our time span for 10,000 years. Then it can decide to take consciousness back in with another self that was doing the exact same thing at that moment. And then it can go out of that self and go for another 100,000 years, and then come back and take consciousness within the next self that was doing the same thing. And then that self died, and so forth until it finds the one that was living in consciousness. But typically, which means most of the time, when you go through an experience of death, you will immediately, upon death, switch consciousness into another. Depends if you don't want to die. You know, if you really don't want to die, and you're not ready to reincarnate and do this all over again from a different perspective, you would just shift your consciousness into another self of you, another version of you, that are doing the exact same thing, so that you won't even be aware of what's going on. These are the versions of the other self. This is what's necessary. A lot of people are not really getting into this, but I am. Rahu.